And welcome to a new edition of the Red Mountain Express. I am Blake Westbrook. Joining me as always is Matthew Joyner and Patrick Tucker and JD Baker. We're all together for the very first time. I'm surprised Captain Planet hadn't showed up yet. I think I said that off the air, but it sounded so good.
You've said it on the air multiple times.
Have I really?
Yes.
Well, just because you're not a fan of Captain Planet,
I prefer Voltron, the original Captain Planet, before it got ripped off.
I'm gonna make an announcement right here. I don't know who Voltron is.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
I think they even rebooted it.
Did they really?
Dude.
That shows you that's not what much TV I do not watch.
Right.
So
it's not very cool.
I can't help it. How was everybody's weekend? Everybody did a pretty good job this weekend. Have a lot of fun.
It was good. I can't even really remember what I did this weekend.
Well, that's because you have a newborn at the house.
True.
So yeah, and Patrick was in South Carolina.
Yeah, I was driving back from South Carolina this weekend, which went fine. So
I was traveling.
It's good to be back. I came back to we stopped in Atlanta to visit Liz's aunt, and while we were there, our neighbor texted us a picture of our destroyed mailbox, and they were like, "Yeah, somebody ran over your mailbox," and then our other neighbor confessed that it was him.
Punk kids.
No, fully grown adult who was not paying attention and just took the thing out and just wiped it out. But I have a brand new mailbox he had up the next day, which was kind of nice because it was already kind of dented a little bit, so it works great now.
That's what you want. You know, if it's already looking pretty dingy or bent up, somebody hits it for you.
It needed to be replaced.
If somebody would hit my truck on the way to work one day, I would actually be okay with that.
You'd be happy about it.
You didn't have to chase them down, Dazed and Confused style?
No. It was very nice.
I worked all weekend, so.
That's all you do is work all weekend. Talk about the mailboxes. We just recently sold our house, and we moved into a new house, and I was driving by our old house, and the mailbox had, fallen down, and I was just like, thank God I got out of that house because I've had to replace that mailbox before, and it was a pain.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway, so we have a great show in store for you today. Our guests are Will and Hayley DeShazo. They are the owners of Till, which is a online farmers market. You may have seen the recent story in AL.com and some other publications in the Birmingham area. Welcome. Thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, we're pumped to be here.
Glad to be here.
So before we start asking you about Till, talk to us about who you are, where you're from, how you made it to Birmingham.
Yeah, so I am born and bred here in Birmingham. I grew up in Homewood, went to Homewood High School, went to UA, University of Alabama, hated it or love it.
Roll Tide.
Go to school there. There you go, Roll Tide. And I came back, and that's where I met my lovely wife sitting next to me, Hayley.
Yeah, I'm from Birmingham as well. I graduated from Pelham High School and went to UAB. Go Blazers. And
But an Alabama fan, just the same, right?
I'm an Alabama football fan.
Okay.
There you go.
But anyways, then I met him my sophomore year, and we dated while I was still in college.
Awesome.
Perfect.
So let's talk about Till. How did this get started? Where did the idea come from? And what steps did you take to get it to where it is today?
About 1,000 steps.
Little steps at a time. Yeah.
But fun steps, just the same. So in January, actually I think it was late December, right? We were having a early New Year's brunch at my dad's house in Tuscaloosa. And he's infamously known in our family to cook awesome meals. He's just one of those people that it doesn't matter what's in the fridge. He'll throw it together and it'll be just phenomenal. And that's kind of how that brunch was. It was really nothing, on hindsight, it's nothing special, right? Grits, eggs, sausage. Yes, sausage, because Hayley loves ground sausage. And we were like, this meal is freaking awesome. And Donna, his wife, was like, well, yeah, these are stone ground grits from, north of Mobile, and these eggs come from so-and-so farm. I got them at the market Saturday. And the sausage, your dad actually killed the pig, and that's from a processor over in wherever, nowhere, Alabama. And we're like, okay, we knew this, and you all know this. Local ingredients just makes meals so much better. And so we're looking at each other, and we're like, but that's such a pain. Dad literally went and killed this pig, had it processed. These grits were, ground up by some woman who, I don't know her name, but they were, spent a lot of time doing it. The eggs were hatched, and Donna had to go pick them up at the market. And, what a pain in the rear. Cooking, it's the easy part, right? Yeah. And then we're like, wait a second. Why is there no easy way to get this type of food to our house?
And this is coming from people who love local food,
Right.
who
Yeah.
dated and went to the farmer's market every Saturday morning that we could and came home that night and cooked the food. But even we still could not make it to the farmer's market every Saturday morning.
Right.
And so we know if we were in that group of people, then there were so many others out there who weren't enjoying local food, who never have even been to a farmer's market or could rarely ever go. So we want to make it more accessible.
And like JD, you've got 3 kids now.
Yeah.
And you've got
One and one on the way.
One and one on the way. So good luck taking a stroller with coffee and bags and cash and all
then-
that at the market.
Or 2 kids by yourself with them running off in different directions.
We take 2 dogs running off in different directions, and it's hard enough, right? Like
Yeah.
I can't imagine supporting a human life, or 2 or 3. So yeah, like it's it kind of dawned upon us that something needed to change, and we could make it happen. We're both in the background of digital marketing and small amount of tech, enough to know what we're doing, and we thought, hey, let's put it out there and see what people have to say about it. So we did.
So what are people saying about it?
Yeah, good question. So we launched like a mini site in January. We came home and literally 3 days later, I had a simple website up.
Yeah.
And I was posting on Facebook, and Hayley was like, "What are you doing? Like, don't do that. You can't tell people that we." I'm like, "Yeah, we're
Cat's
doing
out of the
this
bag.
now, FYI."
That's the marketing person that's like, no, not until we're ready.
Yeah, which is awesome because we counterbalance really well on that. But anyway, we, over the last span of about 12 weeks, 10, 12 weeks, we had over this.
Wow.
Tell us when this happens. We're all about it. And
That's-
so we thought, okay, that's validation enough. A few weeks in, we had several hundred people, and we're like, all right, let's really start taking this serious. So started building the platform for it, and started building the relationship with the farms and managing the distribution, and did everything except for an awesome logo. So it's just simple and clean and easy, right? And now we've refined the process, and this Saturday, the first Saturday in April, we're going out for delivery and pickup.
So how does that process work of building relationships with farms? I mean, what did y'all do? Is it local farms here in the Birmingham area, or is it just all around Alabama?
Yeah, so like I said, we love the farmers market. So we knew of a couple farms that we definitely wanted to feature on our site, one of which being Owl's Hollow, and there were a few others that his dad actually had relationships with north of Tuscaloosa that we wanted to feature. And so it started out with us reaching out to the farms, telling them this crazy idea about how they could reach an entire new market, and that they should feel confident in what we're doing. And then I guess other farms started hearing about it on our social media site, and they started reaching out to us. So it's actually been really nice now. We've had several farms reach out to us and want to be featured as well.
Here's another fun thing. You guys probably all watch college football.
Definitely.
Maybe. Is that a safe assumption?
Yes.
Right?
Extremely safe.
Yeah. So the Home Depot ads, it's like take back your Saturday,
Yeah.
right? So for me, obviously, as somebody who goes to market, I enjoy going to the farmer's market on Saturday. It's not like I'm taking back my Saturday. It is more convenient. But for the farmers, dude,
Yeah.
the only way they can get their stuff to Birmingham is spending a Saturday loading up the truck, driving it here, hoping they get enough sales, packing the truck back up and going home.
Yeah, it's your entire day.
Yeah, and that's a Saturday. And they have kids and dogs and lives too, So we were like, all right, let's take back the farmer Saturday and also add some convenience to you guys and myself included. So on game day, don't worry about going down there and getting what you want. We'll just bring it to you. Or you can come pick it up, simple, quick, and easy.
I mean, everybody should still come to the Pepper Place Farmers Market because it's
Yes,
awesome.
we love Pepper Place. We're still there.
I was going to say, maybe we just duplicate their sales,
Right.
and they can still be at Pepper Place and enjoy the fun. I do believe that Pepper Place is awesome for Birmingham, and a lot of people enjoy maybe just going once a month, and there's some people that go every Saturday and want to meet the farmer face to face, and we totally get that too.
So how are deliveries going to work? Is it going to be like a weekly thing, a daily thing? I mean, can you set it up for a certain day, or how's that working?
Yeah, good question. So right now we're only doing deliveries to 10 zip codes throughout Birmingham. We're starting with those 10 zip codes, and we'll scale out from there if we find people enjoy the delivery aspect.
Right.
Those deliveries are currently only on Saturdays. So what we do, the process here, it's pretty simple. On Sunday, go through your Till account. If you're a member with us, you have an account. Log in like you'd normally go to Trader Joe's or Publix and do the shopping. Just go Till, same thing. add everything into your account, check out by Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Checkout closes for that Saturday's pickup or delivery.
Okay.
So literally, we're getting these orders to the farmers Wednesday night, and they are picking that and grabbing and harvesting all that Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
We get it from them Friday, sometimes Saturday morning, and then we go out for delivery or pickup on Saturday. So a lot of people are like, well, this lettuce at the grocery store goes bad in 5 days. I'm talking about, y'all, if y'all haven't got some of this lettuce at the market, go down to Pepper Place on Friday and grab some. It will last you 10, 12 days. It's amazing. Hayley's looking at me right now saying 3 weeks, but there's no way it would last long at our house because we eat it too quickly. But it would not perish in 3 weeks, So it's just so fresh, right?
Most of the food you get at the grocery store has already been on a truck for a week or
7, 10 days
by the time it gets to you. So you've got a little.
So get this. Mike got taken away from me.
She totally grabbed the mic from me.
We actually have a farmer that is from Chilton County, and they give us peaches. So get excited because they're coming. And she refused to sell her peaches to Publix because she didn't want to pick the peaches when they were still green. She wanted the nutrients to be inside the peaches. And so when she found out about us, she was like, yes, now that's something I can get behind because I can deliver these amazing, juicy peaches that are nutrient rich and amazing, and the customer can still taste how good I harvested this peach.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
She was saying, like, she had to send those peaches to California and then back to Florida and then out for distribution.
That
insane. Makes 0 sense. Why don't we just eat what's literally 30 miles from our backyard?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I think what we've done is made eating food really complicated when it should be really simple, and it should really all come from your community, and you should support your local resources and the local farmers, and it can be made really simple, but we've just overcomplicated it and become used to that.
So I think I've got a couple of questions here that come from I think my experience at my current position, and maybe with my experience just using delivery services for groceries in the past, like, stuff like Instacart or Shipt or, that's a third one I always forget. So thinking about from that perspective, your delivery drivers or your people that are doing the deliveries, are you hiring people from inside the community, or are you doing that yourself, or where are the drivers coming from? Yeah,
good question. So to start, it's me. Yeah. It's Hayley, right? Because we want to meet our customers.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this, we're recording on is it okay to say the date?
Yeah.
April 4th, right? So this Saturday is our first delivery, and for the next couple Saturdays, I want to meet our customers. I want to see them. I want to shake their hands. I want to know why they bought from us, what they like, what they dislike, how we can make it better.
Yeah.
Right? Now then from there, no doubt, we'll be hiring people inside of the community and taking those steps to scale out once we get past these 10 zip codes. But I want to be feet on the ground and understand how we can make it better, because this is community-centered. I want that feedback, and the only way for me to get that is for us to be out in the field early on.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's a great idea. So I think my next question, though, in that same vein is, are you worried at all about, like, the logistics of supply and demand? Like, are you worried that there's going to, at a point, be too many people ordering from a certain farmer and you can't meet that demand?
Yeah, that's a good question. And what if a lot of my family lives in Enterprise, so the boll weevil bug, man, wipe it out.
Or the drought we
Spray
had a couple years
that.
back.
Yeah. So key with that is we've got multiple farms on the website that carry the same products, right, that are throughout the state. So if something were to happen in, Blount County, probably is not going to be happening in Geneva County or elsewhere, right? So there is some assurance that there's a lot of people that carry some of the same goods in our website. For instance, spring hit in the south about 3 weeks ago. They're a little ahead of us. Yeah. So we're getting all of those goodies, but that's not happening up north quite yet, right? So it is seasonal in a sense. And we kind of insure ourselves against that by working with multiple farms with the same products. But sure, I mean, people have got to realize, and they do, that if it's not in season, you're not getting it, and you shouldn't, right? And you shouldn't.
So how many different products do you guys have right now as far as what's available, for this weekend's delivery?
Hayley loves the logistics of that. I'll let her speak on that.
I'm trying to think.
Roughly?
Maybe like 60.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
we have
a
lot of local lettuces. We work with 2 hydroponic farms, so we'll have amazing local lettuce year-round, which I'm excited about, and tomatoes. But all of the other farmers that we work with, they have some vegetables right now, but it's kind of that odd season. It
Right.
hit spring, but it was still really cold. And so next week, I have been assured we will have peas and beans and a couple other things that I'm excited about. But yeah, I mean, as I'm able to work on it more, we'll add different types of products. I've been really interested in maybe adding some pantry items. Like I know a lady who makes some local peanut butter that I would love to add to the site, and so we'll grow and develop as time goes on, I guess.
So tell our listeners. So they're sitting at their computer right now. How does it work? How do they sign on, and how do they sign up for this service?
Yeah, so you can just go to usetill.com, and that really explains everything right there for you. So pretty simple. Head over to usetill.com, and it is a membership-based website. So you have a monthly membership or an annual membership, whichever you choose there. And then from there, you can quite literally just create your account and then add everything you want to your cart. I mean, we've had some people add, what seemed to be like a month's worth of food this past week, and I'm like, that's awesome. Had people email in and say, hey, I'm planning out my meals for the week. We've got, meat on there. If you're not the vegetarian type, you want to go with pork or grass-fed beef, there's options there as well. Steak options will be on there soon. So really and truly, the key here is that you can customize what you want, whatever you want from whatever farm you want. Not to mention, if you head over to the site, you can go to kind of view each and every farm that we work with, hear their story, hear their kids, what they're all about. We plan on kind of doing some like documentary type stuff at the farms in the future just for you to get to know who they are. And so you can kind of explore the farms in a sense that, it's certainly not going to replace you shaking a farmer's hand at the market, which is why we so encourage people to go to the market, meet the farmers, get to know them, right? But we're allowing them to see their farm on a virtual level and save that convenience when they want it.
That's so
I got
cool.
a question. So you said currently you're delivering to 10 zip codes. If you live outside those 10 zip codes, can you still order for pickup or?
Yeah, good question, JD. We've actually had a lot of people way north and way south of Birmingham order for pickup. So we're making pickup super easy, super convenient. Right now there's just one location in Cahaba Heights. And all that looks like is you head over there. Hayley's going to be awaiting you with a beautiful, awesome smile, maybe some warm coffee as well. And if you're lucky. And quite literally, it's as simple as checking a name and getting your bag, and you can go on your way. So don't worry about parking and hopping out of the car and waiting in line and paying cash. All that's already been done. It's just sitting there waiting for you, and you can head home in 5 quick minutes.
It's awesome.
If it's raining, I will wear a raincoat and I will walk it to your car and put it in your car for you.
That's what I call service.
Service with a smile.
With a smile.
Are y'all pretty excited about the buzz around this? I mean, you were featured in AL.com. I saw you in several other websites. I mean, was this expected for you guys? Were y'all expecting this kind of reaction?
Honestly, yeah. I kind of felt like I was because of the excitement that we had early on and the traction it gained with our email list early on kind of made me feel like, hey, this is a real need, It's not just an idea at this phase. But I have been kind of surprised that more news sources have approached us. Like, I wish we were great at PR and we actually set all that up, but we didn't, right? Like, they wanted to feature us because I think it's just a win-win-win for the community and for the farmers as well. I would like to know Hayley's opinion on that, though, because I don't know if you were stunned or if you expected it, too.
I don't know if we were just so busy, but I definitely did not expect it, and I wasn't thinking about it. I was super stoked that it happened, though, because our email list grew a lot, and we had some people that weren't even on our email list that found out about us from a local news source and bought straight from the website without signing up for anything. So it was really exciting, but we were like getting texts and messages to go be ready in an hour for an interview, and we didn't know what we were doing, but we just showed up, and it was fun.
Yeah, funny story. I was actually out of town in Nashville, and Hayley just got bombarded by interviews and like whether it was on camera or off camera, and I was like, yeah, do it. Yeah, she's good. Yeah. And I was like, Hayley, we got an interview at 12:45. Can you be there?
Yeah, I don't know much about PR, but I do know that you always say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
We always said
When
yes.
they quit asking, that's when you worry.
I want to touch on something that you mentioned, though. We did know that Birmingham was the right place to do this because, for one, I think Birmingham already has a a nice palate, and I've told people this before. I just think many people in Birmingham, because of the culinary scene here, know what good food tastes like versus what lettuce from a grocery store tastes like. And so we already kind of have that market that is at least somewhat knowledgeable about what local food is like and the taste difference there. And then also, I just think that people are really supportive of local startups here, and we're kind of like on that merge of the tech scene and new tech startups in Birmingham. So we knew it was an awesome market if we were ever going to pursue the idea that Birmingham was the right place to do it.
So I've got one more question, and I just remembered that we read this on the off the website last week talking about it. You guys mentioned on the website that part of your proceeds are going towards some local missions or groups. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we're partnering, and we're actually about to release all of that. I don't want to drop it on the podcast quite yet. I'm going to let our email list know about that right after we do. So we've been in talks with a couple partners and have one close to being nailed down to donate a portion of our revenues to feed those that are just don't have the resources to eat like they should, right? And believe it or not, I think there's over 800,000 people in the state of Alabama who struggle with hunger. And there's like one in 6 people, I think is what it is. I mean, it's unfathomable how many people don't know where the next meal is coming from. And a lot of that's right here in our backyard, right? And unfortunately, it's not just for us that it's more convenient to eat fast food. It's for people who literally don't have the resources to do anything else. And so we're trying to take a stand, and really we can't do it without the community buying local from us. And that's what we're encouraging, right? So we're planning on making it super easy and almost fun and engaging for you to give back on the website in addition to what we're giving revenue-wise. So that's a big part of our mission. We like to say we're, foodie family-based, right? We're farmer-based, and really we're about the famished as well. We want to feed those locally.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm excited about some things that we have ahead because we're working on making it to where a Till member can choose to add a certain item of produce to their cart for somebody who might need those items in their home. And then we're also working out how we can kind of reach the more rural areas around Birmingham that don't have access to grocery stores and are literally buying their groceries from Dollar General or the gas station. Or we're working with some Alabama government officials as well to make some things happen. So we're excited about that.
Well, that's really good because especially in Alabama, there are a lot of areas that are food deserts that, right. There's not grocery stores that are, I think I was driving through West Alabama last weekend and I was talking to my wife. It's like, where do the people go to the grocery store around here? And they probably drive, 30 minutes into town to do that. And so, and they may not have access to fresh foods that you're trying to offer. So,
yeah, well, and here's the thing, too, is, those are the more fortunate ones. Those that can drive into town are the ones that are fortunate enough, right? There's a lot of people who have to ride a bus to get there and obviously can't get perishable stuff because by the time they get home, it's rotted. It's done, right? So, of course, they have no option but to go and buy a cheap burger or go and get canned stuff at the gas station or Dollar General. So that's big.
I have to tell this story and shout out to my husband. We have a customer for Till, and she's been really excited about our services, and she has been on our email list forever. And then she found out we weren't delivering to her zip code. She's in North Birmingham, and she's disabled, so she doesn't have a transportation to get to a grocery store or go to the farmer's market. And Will is going out of his way to deliver the goods to her home. And so it's just been amazing to hear stories that we didn't even think of originally of people who might not have transportation or senior citizens who don't want to leave their homes or widow women who don't know how long their food supply from the grocery store will last. And that market that we can kind of help out has been amazing.
Well, thank y'all so much for being on the podcast today. We really do appreciate it. We're super excited about your venture, and we wish you the best of luck. You guys are going to stick around for the news portion, right?
Yeah, we like the news. We'll be here.
Well, good. You can check them out at usetill.com and go check it out, order some food, and remember it'll be really, really fresh by the time you get it. Let's take a break, hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back with some news from Red Mountain and beyond. Beecham Woodworks is a locally owned and operated wood shop in Birmingham, Alabama, specializing in custom furniture and small home goods. Chris and Kanan Beecham create a wide variety of unique pieces of all sizes, ranging from cutting boards to farmhouse tables. Using wood sourced from Alabama sawmills, Beecham Woodworks creates affordable, quality pieces that will be a one-of-a-kind fixture for your home. So support your local woodworker and visit redmountainexpress.com/woodworks or check them out on their Facebook and Instagram accounts. Beecham Woodworks, turning your house into a home. And welcome back to the second half of the show. Will and Hayley DeShazo you're gonna stick with us and go over some news and topics that we have collected over the week. The first story, I know we beat this to death because literally it's dead now, is the AAF. We are responsible.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
So they didn't even get to finish the season.
They didn't even finish the season.
Blake-
Things could be worse, though. You could be the guy who sunk 70 mil.
Or 250 mil or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
but you know what?
possible.
I read a story about this. It was AL.com. It was Roy Johnson. The guy who put all that money in there got access to their proprietary technology, such as they had a platform to where you could do instant betting. Like you could bet if the next play was a pass or a run, and he got access to that. And basically, since he was the controlling shareholder, basically has that technology now. And so that technology is probably worth more than the money he put in there.
So he's going to
He's
put that
playing
on
the
the
long
NFL
Played the long
or
game, yeah.
college.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's going to take that to Biloxi, Mississippi and have some fun.
Exactly. Or, Tunica.
I think honestly the worst thing about the AAF folding and the Birmingham Iron folding is that Blake was right.
Wow.
He totally called
How
that
those
one.
words taste
I
coming
called
out.
it too.
God.
I called it.
Well, but here's the thing. It's not about the city of Birmingham not being able to keep up a sports team. It's the fact that these startup leagues are they're unsuccessful about 95% of the time. I mean, how many teams did I send you
So
pictures
I
of?
told Blake I was going to start decorating sort of my man cave downstairs with memorabilia from all the failed Birmingham teams. I mean, the old
the Vulcans,
there's
the
the
Americans,
Vulcans.
the
Shame.
Stallions, the Barracudas.
Yeah, the Fire.
The Steel Dogs.
Yeah,
Steel Dogs had a good
They
long
did-
They
run.
were
they
there
did,
for a
yeah.
while.
They were.
Yeah.
They were. They
The
had a decent run.
who can forget the XFL, the Bolts, man?
The Bolts, yeah.
I mean, that one a train wreck. I mean, good lord. So, I mean,
They at least made it a whole season, Blake.
They did make it a whole season.
Ooh,
Vince
that's
McMahon
more
lost
than,
them. Yeah, it's more than the Iron. But the Iron, they were getting 15,000, 16,000
Yeah,
people
it wa-
in the stadium.
it really wasn't
It was
bad.
respectable.
So that's cool. We'll just now we can focus on the Legion.
So
Exactly.
it's mainly an issue with the NFL?
So the reason why they shut down is that they were wanting the NFL to give them access to practice players and players who were not making teams. So the NFL team would sign you, and they would say, look, you're not going to make our 60-man roster. We're going to send you down to the Birmingham Iron and let you work out your problems there, and then you can come back up. Kind of as a
Minor
minor
leagues,
league system.
development
The
league.
problem
Like
is,
the Barons.
Yeah, like the Barons. The problem is the NFL has a minor league system. It's called college football.
Yep.
And a lot of, the NFLPA, the Players Association, does not want to have folks they represent wanting to go to the NFL, and the next thing they know, they're playing in a minor league system when they played that before. So
Well, and there's already a league for people who can't cut it in the NFL. It's called the CFL.
yeah, exactly. Or the Arena Football League, if that's even a thing anymore.
I don't know.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, arena football. Yeah.
So so long Birmingham Iron. We barely knew you.
Yeah.
But now we can control. We can focus our efforts on the Legion, which scored a goal.
And won a game.
They won a game.
Yeah.
They scored 3 goals.
They got
And-
3 goals. Yeah.
Yeah, and they actually beat the defending champions. I
I
believe.
will say this: their logo is awesome.
Oh.
It's so much better than the Iron.
Their logo is awesome, and so is all their video work. I mean, they got some awesome promos out there.
They really
I
do.
got fired up watching one of those.
And I mean, and their sponsors Red Diamond. Who doesn't love Red Diamond tea? I know I do, and their coffee. Just saying. So anyway, so long AAF. We really miss you, or will we?
Come back, maybe.
Second story we wanted to feature is, and we've talked about a new film every other week here, but this is going to be a TV series, which is going to be a first for Birmingham. So Roy Wood Jr., you may probably know him from, he was on 30 Rock, on Blackish. He was a correspondent on The Daily Show, and he is going to film a series here in Birmingham called Jefferson County Probation.
Now, you said this a minute ago, and I seriously thought you were joking.
No, it's
That's
happening,
legit
man.
the name.
Yeah, no. So this
That's
is great. So it's a Comedy Central produced pilot. He co-created the Boondocks, which the co-creator with Roy Wood Jr. is the co-creator of the Boondocks, which I don't know if any of y'all have seen that.
Yeah.
It's a very topical, very funny show that comes on Cartoon Network, or used to. I guess it still does, like the Adult Swim. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very funny, like very. What's the word I'm looking for? Speaking to the current times, hipster. No. So anyway, this is going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what the theme of the show is going to be. Is he looking to make a political commentary, or because there's a lot of stuff coming up right now about jails and prisons in the nation,
Especially
as
in
well as
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah, how they're unconstitutional. And,
Right.
yeah.
There's some shady
Cruel
stuff
and
going on.
unusual.
Was there a date on this?
So I think right now they're planning to start filming relatively soon, and they'll probably film the pilot, submit it to the network, and the network will then approve whether to order more shows. I think it's really cool because you've had great shows that have been filmed that have been saying they're in New York, or they're in Cleveland, but they're filmed in New York City, or they're in Los Angeles. This is going to be on location, so I mean it's cool to kind of see something that on TV.
It's got Jefferson County right there in the title. So
what's that?
It's got Jefferson County right there in the title. So
exactly, yeah, and this goes back to when Alabama started offering tax incentives for filmmakers, and Film Birmingham was established in 2017. So this has been attracting movies. I mean, although we've had the John Travolta movie, which looked bad, and then the Aaron Eckhart movie that live that has not even been released yet, that actually filmed at our church.
Yeah.
And I've been really waiting for that to come out.
That Netflix movie.
The Netflix movie. So anyway, we'll see. Hopefully it'll be good.
But this is really the first TV series.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Roy Jr. is hilarious.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving to food news real quick. So in Hoover, there is an Organic Harvest grocery store. We've talked about it before.
Those guys are awesome. Love that store, by the way.
Yeah.
I will drive 20 minutes to get my lunch there with their
Nice.
food bar.
Their
It
hot
is
bar's
so good.
awesome. They've got some really good local foods. It's a great spot.
It's not far from my house, but I've never
Really?
actually been. So I'm going to go
So
check it
good.
out now that you guys
Good.
personally recommend it.
Well, so they are expanding. They bought the Village Market in Eastlake, and they're going to open up a grocery store there. And they're actually transforming their Organic Harvest stores into more of more of a mainstream type of chain. But they'll still have organic, foods and specialty items. But this is really good because I know we talked about how when they closed a lot of these Western markets, a couple of them were going to still be standing alone and nothing was going to happen to them. So they're filling this void. And I think that's really good for Birmingham. I hate when you drive down through a neighborhood, you see like an empty grocery store or an empty building, that these are being reused again. And this is a Birmingham local store that's expanding and thriving, it looks like. So I've never shopped there. Actually, I take that back. I have gotten a couple of things there for my wife when she was pregnant with our first child. But everybody I know that goes to these places, like you two, say that they love them. So hopefully these will turn out pretty well.
Yeah, they're also opening a harvest market in the former Parisian department store next to Paramount on 2nd Avenue North, which
Parisians.
Yeah, I haven't heard that in a while.
awesome. That's an awesome
Yeah.
location.
So yeah, downtown Birmingham, especially in the downtown area, not just South Side, has Publix right now.
Right.
So this will give folks another option, more organic option. So
Well, and I thought it was cool. They said all of their Harvest Market locations will have the hot food and salad bar, cafes, juice bars, beer and wine selection, as well as meat and cheese departments. I love that they have hot food and salad bars. Like that's great.
I'm really excited about that Paramount, or the location there next to the Paramount. So I work right there in the John Hand building. You've got a couple of restaurants close to you, but if you want to walk to Publix, that's a 10-minute walk. Man, having a store right there, that's going to be a great lunch location for all the people that work in that area.
There you go.
Well, cool. So the next story I thought was really interesting, mostly because of who's involved with this. There's going to be a new creative space for startups that is going to be started by Jeffrey Bear and David Silverstein from the Bear Properties. So obviously, Jeffrey Bear, the namesake of Bear Properties, is actually stepping down from Bear Properties to go run this space for startups.
Interesting.
Which is pretty strong endorsement that they are really, really invested in this. This is not just a side project. This is a thing that they're really putting some thought and effort into, and I think it's just a really cool thing. I mean, obviously we have Innovation Depot, and lately we've had a lot of sort of co-working spaces like Forge, Work at Forge, and there's a new one that's focused on wellness, and I'm forgetting the name of it. Somebody might be able to help me out.
I know there's one next to Seeds in Homewood. I think it's called the Hub.
Yeah, the Hub.
I don't think that's the wellness one you're describing.
No, and I'll remember the name of it in a minute. But I think this is a really, really cool thing. It's a 4-story building at 2130 Highland Avenue, which is sort of close to the 5 Points area. And so this is really early on in the process. They haven't even revealed a name yet for the new space that's going to be.
Do they have an opening date yet, or?
I don't think they've announced an opening date, but I would imagine it's coming pretty soon, since they're stepping down from Bear to start this. Anyway, we'll link to the article. You guys can go check it out. Matthew pointed out to me that the co-working space for wellness is called Practice Works, which I've seen already pictures coming from that, and it's looking pretty cool. So we'll keep you guys updated on this. Obviously, Bear Properties is kind of behind the Pizzits and Forge, and so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of this, and I know there'll be plenty of interest in that space from new startups. Maybe you guys can go work at this place.
We'll take an invitation to the newly found incubator space. Yeah, for sure.
I'm sure you're on their short list.
One of us will need to get out of the house.
You're already going to get out of the house, but delivering all the produce. So.
Yes, we will. We're going to have a busy Saturdays for sure.
The final story we wanted to mention and highlight is it's kind of a historic story, in my opinion. So we talked about what is known as fracturing in Birmingham episodes back, and basically, a lot of people see Birmingham as or the Jefferson County as a growing county and doing quite well, and it is, but we are not seeing traditional growth. What we're seeing is businesses moving maybe from Birmingham to Homewood, or from Homewood to downtown Birmingham, and vice versa, and all over the place. Well, the Jefferson County Mayor's Association got together. And 22 cities have agreed that they will not poach businesses from each other. This is big because this is community cooperation at its finest. A lot of mayors.
I don't think it's ever happened.
No, it has not. I mean, first we have a stadium that everybody got together and funded, and now something like this. I think it just shows you it's a different time in Birmingham. The cities that are involved are Argo, Bessemer, Birmingham, Brighton, Centerpoint, Clay, Fairfield, Graysville, Homewood, Hoover, Pleasant Grove, Lipscomb, Midfield, Mountain Brook, Mulga, Sylvan Springs, Tarrant, Trafford, Trustful, Vestavia Hills, Warrior, and West Jefferson. That's huge, and it's also really huge that you're seeing a lot of not just the suburbs that are directly connected to Birmingham, but the ones on the outlying areas that are way out into Jefferson County. It's called the Good Neighbor Pledge, and even the Centerpoint mayor, who was the one who drafted this statement, said it was historic. So the agreement basically says that they will not offer tax incentives, free or discounted land, or lease below market value, or abatements or incentives sought through the Industrial Development Board and Downtown Road Development Authority. So anyway, that's big news.
So yeah, I think this is huge news, especially for a city and neighboring cities that have had a history of not cooperating.
No, yeah.
I think this is probably one of the most extensive cooperative efforts that I've seen. And I've lived here pretty much all my life, so I think it's great news for that. I think it'll be interesting to see if, this, like, what happens if somebody wants to expand into another area? Are they then going to be eligible for tax incentives and things like that, or is it just like, no, you can't do that anymore?
So I think it was Brocado, the Hoover mayor, who said basically like there's not going to be any initiating of those deals from the different mayors in the cities. But if the companies want to move within the county, they're not going to stop them. So I think maybe if a company came to a mayor and said, hey, look, we're looking to move, maybe you have some tax incentives. I'm not sure if that would exclude that or preclude that.
Yeah.
Just as long as it was the business that initiated it.
Okay. Well, that makes sense because, they're
not directly going after someone else.
Yeah, certainly, like some of the stories we're just talking about, like the harvest markets, where they're expanding their reach and moving from different locations. I think that's a great thing for everybody. So we want to encourage that and see more than that. And I think the more cooperation that we can have between the different cities, the more that will benefit the businesses that are in those cities and help them to continue to grow.
Yeah, it's kind of just it's this feeling that we're all in this together, and this also can lead to all these mayors coming together and pitching Birmingham as one to maybe a big business, saying, "Look, we're all behind this. We all want to make sure that we can recruit you because the jobs that maybe a certain business will produce not only just directly affects Birmingham, but the whole county and the whole metro area, which is about 1.1 million people. So this is really important." It kind of was modeled after some other areas that have done this around the country. Cuyahoga County, which I believe is outside Cleveland, San Diego, northeast Louisiana, which is the Fort Wayne area, and the Denver, Colorado, which is a sprawling area if you're ever been to Denver. And so we're not the only city or area that struggles with it, but it shows you the cooperation that's happening, that it's allowing an agreement like this to move forward. So that's a good day in Birmingham, in my opinion. And I believe, I think we talked about Bayer Properties earlier, where David Scher, who does Comeback Town, which is an email that I get every few weeks, who has preached for cooperation among the metro cities, said that this is a good step. He just hopes that everybody lives up to the agreement. Yeah. Because it's not binding, but I think it just shows that we're going to move forward as one. So, yeah, that's good news.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I think that's a show, right, guys?
I agree.
Yeah. Well,
good show, guys.
Yeah. Thank y'all for everybody here today. We got all four of us. We want to thank Will and Hayley DeShazo for joining us. Remember to go to useteal.com to sign up for their wonderful service. And speaking of farmers markets, we are actually going to be at the farmers market next weekend when they actually open.
It's the first Pepper Place outdoor market of the season.
Right. We will.
Now's the best time to go. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And it's an entertainment district now, so you can.
So you need to come to the Lombard, which is where we're recording. Get you a drink, maybe a Bloody Mary or a mimosa or a breakfast burrito, and then come on over and say hello to us. We may have a giveaway or two to if you come by and say you love the show, because we like people patting us on the back. So anyway, remember to check us out on redmountainexpress.com. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and some other social media channels. What's that?
Instagram.
And Instagram, which is how we have most of our followers from.
Yeah.
You just gained 2 more.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you. So for Matthew Joyner, Patrick Tucker, and J.D. Baker, I'm Blake Westbrook. We'll see you next week.